And what kind of mindset were you when this idea for Annie came up? This because it's not necessarily a concept album, but there is a kind of a narrative going through it. So
I just wanted to make something like just weird, you know, like, and I knew that my first album had to be so much different than everyone else's, and I know the importance in the album and had to, you know, at least attempt to make a good album, and I tried to do that, but it's still not perfect, you know. I'd still finish a couple things on there, but yeah, I was just in a weird headspace, just going through the motions of, you know, just life, you know. That's mostly it.
and you mentioned that it all came together quite naturally. Do you have to be in a certain mood to write? Because well, you touch upon all kinds of different elements in the music, but do you have to be in a certain mindset or?
Yeah, I definitely do. I need to, because to me, Reggie's such a different person to Alex. It's all, you know, he's more of a fictional character that I made up. So for me, it's hard to sometimes slip back into that mode and, you know, go from being myself to, you know, being Rejjie. It's sometimes difficult to go into that. So yeah, I had to get into the headspace to make the album, and I wanted to make an album that, you know, like was emotional and real. So I found it easier to make it when I was in, you know, more darker moments and times.
So it's part of kind of inventing Rejjie, if we can put it that way. Well, was that part of kind of distancing yourself a little bit then from what you were writing?
Yeah. I had to just cut myself off from everything, use my phone less, and really just understand like the kind of world I wanted to create, and again, just throw myself in there and just be completely fearless. And yeah, a lot of that was hard to do because I think making an album I had to really just like be by myself a lot, which was something I wasn't used to, because I love to, you know, be around people and always be at the party or whatever. But for me to make the album, I had to really just escape. And
Why?
I found it easier just to, you know, to work like this. Because when I record music, I don't like to be around people. It's more of an isolation process. And yeah, I had to just, you know, go away, get my shit together.
What was kind of the first song that came together in this process that kind of set the blueprint for what was going on?
2023.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you remember what sparked that song?
Yeah, I was trying to make a song like that. So when I made the song, made it in Los Angeles, and yeah, I was just really happy because it came out exactly how I wanted it to. And I think we made the song in like an hour, so really quick. And I think once I had that song, I was able to, you know, go back and find songs that I wanted for the album and, you know, start to build that puzzle.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a couple of songs that stuck out for me. One of them was Room 27, which alludes to the Club of 27. What fascinates you about this concept?
Oh, it's fascinating because some of the people that I really look up to, you know, all, you know, left at that age. So for me, it was just something that I wanted to play with and also throw my twist on what, you know, what that means, like 27 Club. And I guess for me, when I first made the song, I had it like visually in my head, so I wanted to put like a video to the song. So again, I'm hopefully gonna make this in the next couple months. But yeah, I think once you see the video, it's more just like a short film.
Right. But this idea, because I wrote a couple of lines down from a bunch of songs, but like you say, it can be quite dark. I mean, it kind of delves into kind of a darker mindset. So, what was it like going? How close was that to your own kind of?
Oh yeah, it's me there, but again, I'm just like I'm flirting with all of the ideas of what I was talking about and shit. And it's all fictional.
Sure.
So, and you know, with my music, it's like subjective, so it's up to you whether you want to believe it or not. But I definitely had to like be in a dark state of mind to, you know, write that. And yeah, when I wrote that song, I didn't think too much. It was all just came out of me. And it was when I was working on the instrumentals that I tried to. That's kind of what made it a little bit more like surreal, you know, like the feeling and that like sense of mortality nearing.
And Yeah, is that part of it? Because you mentioned the atmosphere, and kind of seeing an image in your head when you write these songs. So is it? Should I see it in a way as kind of a film score, or do you approach it that way?
Yeah, definitely. That's exactly the way I approach it. So if somebody gets that, then it's amazing because it's exactly how I intended for the music to be enjoyed, you know. And I think like with something like that song, it's very visual. You know, you can just imagine myself very, you know, vulnerable, and I feel like that was just kind of my take on part the industry and the emotions and what it means to be a musician and dealing with all these responsibilities and pressures, and that was just like my twist on everything.
And a song like that, then does that image stay the same, or does that evolve over time?
It can evolve for the most part because I don't feel exactly like that now.
Right.
So I think with my music, you just get snapshots of different emotions, and yeah, when I do things like that, it's more just me playing into that character, and yeah, just exploring the visual side, so, you know, sonically through music, you know.
And then there are also a bunch of songs that deal with relationships, breakups, kind of a love-hate relationship. So, and that obviously can come very close. So, what was it like talking about your personal life in that way, and kind of about actual people?
Yeah, it's hard when you're not so literal about it, because of course I wouldn't say names of people.
Sure.
Yeah, so for me it's just like dipping into my romantic side, and I think you can, when you talk about romance, it's just so, it's very relatable, you know, in whatever way you do it. And I feel like the way I did it with the album, it was all just super honest, so it didn't seem too forced or contrived. It was just it's a very natural thing for me to talk about, because, you know, I'm a Cancer, so, you know, I've got emotions. And
Do you know if, well, I don't know if it's written about one person or a multitude of people, but do you know if they have heard it, or
sometimes you get people that maybe think stuff's about them, but it's not about them. I just be making up a lot of shit, but of course when I talk about shit that's real like that, especially with the album,
Sure.
Yeah, of course people are gonna connect the dots and think this and that, but it's okay, because I feel the way I talk about my stuff, it's always done with love, and it's always done because it's my experience, and I have to talk about it. I have to get it out of me, and I'm a dude, so, you know, of course spilling my emotions out isn't easy, but it's important, you know what I mean? And I have to.
and this music is then the vehicle through which to do it.
Yeah, it's a way for me to talk about myself, and I think it's becoming more of this, you know, as time goes on. I see like the fans and everyone else is just a place of, you know, I can talk my shit, and, you know, they'll listen, or they'll, you know, let me know. I don't know.
Right. There's one other song that I wrote a couple of lines down. Well, I'll start with you. How you kind of how that idea arose in you, the rain. How did that song arise?
I was in Los Angeles, and it started raining, and I was with my homie Cam. He's a producer, and we were just vibing, just eating food, watching. Maybe we were watching Rush Hour, and yeah, he just brought out the MPC drum machine, started making the beat, and yeah, the song just came very naturally. And I just wanted to make a song that was very, you know, swaggy and cool. And then the guest feature, he had working downstairs, because this was like a studio with a shop or whatever. He heard the beat, and he just came up, laid the verse like straight away, and just really
relaxed,
really like organic, you know what I mean? It's crazy. That's one of my favorite songs off the album too.
There's one thing I wrote down from that. I don't know if you want to talk about it, but dumb and young enough, my actions keep haunting me. I wondered.
My actions keep on haunting me, my demons. Yeah.
I wondered if that referred to anything specific.
Dumb and young, dumb and young, my actions keep on haunting me, my demons. Well, yeah, of course, my actions and things I do, specifically in the past, have all just been because I'm young, and I don't always know what I'm doing, you know. So everything is just like a learning process, and I think now I'm at an age, I'm 24 now, I'm very responsible for my actions now, and everything I do, I'm definitely can think about, and so I can do the right things always. And I think that was just like an ode to that, you know.
Final question then, and then this might be difficult to pick just one thing, but having made this album, what is one thing that you've kind of discovered or learned about yourself?
That I'm capable of doing anything I want to do, and that I think the most important thing is to just be yourself. And I think now I'm just very unapologetically myself, and I was never like that my whole life. So I think with making the album, I just kind of became the kind of person that, you know, like I'd look up to. Just like I'm just positive now. I'm not on some bullshit no more. And I think that's the most important thing to me.
And I read somewhere that you said that Rejjie Snow is dead, and that you're kind of moving on. So I don't know if that's true, because it's online and you never know what they print.
There you go.
So it's not. So you didn't say that?
No, I said that.
Okay.
Yeah, I just feel the character I made. It's time to go into something new. You know, I think. Because of that reason, it's like things always die off for the most part. And I feel like now, just with myself and the anticipation of the record, it's time for something new. And I think for me, it's still exciting because I still have the same skills, you know, that I've learned in this process that I can apply to a new, different energy. And yeah, it's more just about growing as an artist and, you know, pushing my artistry, trying different things. And whatever the next step is, it's all good to me. It's still going to be cool. So,
all right.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see what you come up with next.
For sure, man.
All right. Thank you very much for your time.
Thanks.
Thank you.